Hello everyone, welcome back to What If Izuku Midoriya or What If Deku had hyptrain. Let's go. Uh, let's just jump right on it. Izuku's sitting at his desk. He was already hyped when he seen All Might. He was already pretty gassed waiting for the first heroics course. And to say that he's not disappointed when the big, bold kanji for battle trials is put on a small board and slammed onto the podium. All Might would notice it. And others would also notice this. But during this time, Izuku is fidgeting really fucking bad. Now, Izuku, like I said prior, there's a ramp up. And there's like stages. So I'm gonna say he's in first, the equivalency of second car right next to the engine of the train. So first car containing passengers. You'll figure out why I'm going by cars. Because of hyptrain. And that's just how I'm just going to do power scaling. Izuku kind of zones out after the words battle trials. So he gets his costume and he goes into the changing room and he changes. Now, Izuku already had scars over his body. And Izuku is still seen as a strange variable. But they could tell something almost immediately. The closer he gets to the fight, the more energetic he gets. Like, it's been ramping up for the whole fucking week. Right? And it's like there where they start to notice, the personality differences. Because when he's calm and relaxed, he don't talk to anybody. He's very chill, very compliant and malleable, some might say. However, as soon as he starts going into fucking full force, hyptrain, nah, don't give a fuck. Once he starts going through the cars, there is little for anyone to do to stop him from being an absolute fucking wild child. But let me describe the costume. Some might know this term, body glove, which is essentially a skin suit for all intents and purposes that has black. Well, the main color would be black with forested dark greens and slight browns mixed in, almost like forest camo. And Izuku lets his hair down, which by this point it reaches like right above his ass. It's this long fucking hair. So, what Izuku does also have are green gripped gloves that are reinforced with a steel-esque alloy, pretty light, durable, and just fucking strong. Izuku knows when he goes up into the further cars, these things are gonna be turned to fucking mush, but meh. He'll just have to make new ones, I guess. But Izuku knows a couple of things. One of those things being certain. His shoes will not survive. Which is why, when he walks out, he's wearing very weird socks. He is wearing, just what looks to be like rubber-esque socks. Something that doesn't look good, but is clearly cheap. And Izuku walks out with like a bag and a utility belt on top of that. And Izuku, once he leaves, people compliment him on how the suit looks. He just nods. He goes to the back of the room. He starts fucking pacing up and down. Out. And it's almost like he's like, specifically people like Sue is getting the idea of he's staring people down like he's about to kill them. Like, animal instincts are flaring the fuck up, and it's bad. Because Sue, when she realizes this, she noticed she was talking to someone. When turns out she didn't notice that she was like moving up to the front. Her body doesn't even want to be fucking near him. Like, it's bad. And then, an unexpected group of 20. Class 1B. And one moment, let me double check something. Specifically, what the 20 people would notice is, oh, this is the other hero class. And Shishida, Pony, Tokage, and some of the others with more beast-like quirks are like fucking screaming, stay the fuck away from him. Stay the fuck away from the fucking psychopath that's pacing in the back. Like, it's there. And it's apparent that, oh no. No, not good. Bad time in that direction. Monoma does one of the worst things that you could do. He starts talking shit. And everyone in the room that was paying attention to Izuku As soon as Monoma fucking started, like, going on his Class 1B is superior shtick, Izuku stopped. And he slowly turned. Now, usually, this wouldn't be that big of an issue. But when Vlad King and All Might feel almost sick and look over towards Izuku, I want you to imagine shadows just enveloping in his face and body, kanjis for fucking menacing, and white eyes just boring into your fucking soul. That's what they see. And Monoma doesn't notice. In fact, the only one that does notice is fucking Kendo, other than the teachers. Well, that and Todoroki, but Todoroki is already used to this, so he's mildly cutting him out. Because anytime Katsuki would talk, this is what would happen. Well, not when he talked. When Katsuki was talking shit about him, and he was like hyped up, it's almost like clear fucking animosity. Well then. Well, that was a weird voice drop, my bad. Anyway, pushing forward. What would happen is as follows. All Might would explain the bomb. But I'm tripling the teams. There are 6 people per team. And fuck. No one's really gonna give a shit about everyone else. Except, god damn it. Now that that's over with, we're gonna focus on Izuku's team first and foremost. Izuku's team is Jiro, Kirishima, Tetsu, and Shishida. Other than himself, that would make 6. And dear jumping Jesus, Shishida is mildly upset. Because being too close to Izuku is like having fucking knives in his brain. It's causing his fucking quirk to act up bad. Because being around Izuku, Jesus Christ, it's like trying... For him, it's like trying to stare straight towards the sun. It hurts him. But, well, it doesn't hurt him, but you get the idea. The enemy team, the ones that you should be praying for, was accidentally the fucking powerhouses. So get ready for this. Shoto Todoroki, Bakugo Katsuki, fucking Monoma. Hold on. Let me just double check this. God, Tokage, Tsuyu, and Mina. So, it's pretty good lineup. Got a good fucking lineup over there. Now, everyone else on Izuku's team kind of like did that new Todoroki and Katsuki. They did a sharp, like, inhale, like, oh no. Todoroki realized something about Izuku now that he actually put his fucking mind on him and looked at him. As well as Tsuyu and Shishida alongside Tokage. Holy shit, he's gonna kill somebody in this. Yes. He is smiling. He is fucking smiling. Shit-eating grin Cheshire Cat looks like he's going to eat your soul smile. And to everyone else, this just looks like a very calm, composed grin. However, the teachers could tell we need to make sure they don't go too far. Vlad just gives a nod. Put them in the more sturdy buildings. Yeah. Izuku does listen to a plan. But Izuku just says blatantly, alright, let me get this straight. We're gonna pussyfoot around them. Can I switch with Kirishima? I want to be on Distraction Party. Because, my God, this is... I want to punch something really fucking hard. Shishida was like... I mean, yeah, to be honest, that actually sounds like a good idea. Just in case we run into a problem. Upstairs. Yeah. Shishida's like responding almost out of a instinctual fear. Because Shishida feels like he's about to fucking die. Alright, if you go against this. It's either fucking sit down or bow down. He doesn't care. But here's the important thing that happens. The fight when the bell starts. Instead of the usual building that they were in, I want you to imagine a parking complex with cars in it. You know, places that are usually used as underground fight pits and things of the nature in the late night and early morning. When Izuku hears the bell, the killing intent spikes, and he's put on second car of the hype train. First car of the hype train allows for things like, you know, regular strength enhanced punches not to do anything. Right? And then, on stage 2, it allows for things like knives that are being wielded by, people with strength enhancers unable to pierce you. On car 3, your strength quadruples. Now, granted, on car 1 and car 2, you already get strength boosts. On car 1, you could rip a door off on accident. On 2, you could rip a car's engine out on accident. Car 3, and the most important one, you could go through walls without that much of an issue. However, it's very easy to go to higher cars. There's not a lot of requirement, except for Izuku to have fun. Which he's gonna love this shit. So, you're about to learn how I'm gonna categorize what cars he's gonna go. I hope you're ready. Let's hit this shit. As Izuku runs in to play distraction, everyone enters the building and the ground freezes. And it freezes all the way up to like the hips. And Izuku stops and looks down. His shoes are already kind of fucked up. But he feels it not only froze the shoes, he froze his shoes to the fucking foot that they're attached to. And the skin to the ice. Izuku stopped when this was happening because it seemed interesting. Everyone else has been stopped for the most part. But Izuku, when this happens, he fucking smiles. Now, he was already at tier 2. So he let this shit happen. So what the people see, well, what his teammates see, because he was in front of them, the ice cracks. And the ice begins to break, but it's still holding on to his skin. So what do you think happens? When he moves his legs, a slight tear would form, causing blood, which causes pain, which Izuku realizes, one attack, someone hurt me this bad? Someone's making me feel this? Oh, nah. Nah, this is gonna be fun. Stage 3. When he takes off his shoes, the bottom of his feet are still in the shoes. There is like muscle that is hitting now the frozen over ground, and there are now bloody footprints. And Shishida, not having a time. He's having a bad fucking time right now. Because the spike already fucking got him. Like, almost made him flip his shit. When they were close by, when it started, whatever the fuck just happened, nah, get me the fuck away. Right now. How? So he's not aping the fuck out yet, but he's there. He's basically there. And Izuku just walks over and like starts breaking people free. Now, the team is essentially asking Izuku, is he okay? But then they really look up at his face. He's fucking grinning like a psychopath. And there's still like ice essentially on his legs. And like kind of on his feet as he begins turning back around and running full tilt, almost like what happened to his feet didn't happen at all. And he just says, continue with the plan, I'm gonna have fun. Now, back in the theater, people just like are buck-eyed. As in, what the fuck just happened? What the hell? Just the people that are left in that room are fucking got slapped in the fucking face with how nonchalant he is running with the bottoms of his feet gone. And they slowly do stop bleeding. And then from Izuku's left, he stops. He thinks he hears something. And then he just begins to walk towards the edge of the parking complex, grabs the railing, and yanks up sharp, causing the sound of bending metal, as Izuku would rip off a fairly large chunk of the railing of the parking location. Good old parking hub. And Izuku runs to where he heard the noise. Meanwhile, with the away team, Katsuki is blowing Shishida the fuck up. All the way until like, I don't know, like 2 minutes later, where Kirishima, Shishida are essentially still in the middle of a fight with Katsuki. All the way until the wall fucking just breaks inwards. Katsuki looks over. Metal pipe. Boom. Just right in the side of his fucking head. Which causes him to go flying, like spinning mid-air, concussed with a concussion, slamming in and through the wall. Oh, they are on the second floor of the parking complex, where the stairs should be. And Izuku, with a manic grin, says, "What did I tell you? Continue with the plan and do not divert. This is gonna be fun." As he then holds it like a spear and throws it. Katsuki, coming back to his senses, uses his left hand to cause a mighty explosion to send himself to the left. Well, to the right of now where would be a fucking crater where Izuku's whose foot was now where his torso would be. And he just says, "I've been waiting for this." You want to be the strongest. You aren't even close to me. As one step kicks off, Katsuki would raise his hand and fire off an explosion. Izuku goes through it. Superman punch. Boosh. Right in his fucking nose. Causing a sickly crack to go over not only his communicator, but the audio for the damn teachers. This punch also sent him sprawling, but he was able to, catch himself. Just barely. As a kick hits him directly in his stomach. Which then caused him to throw up his breakfast and pass the fuck out. Now, at this point, everyone in the room did hear what Izuku said. And they're afraid that they have to agree. But when Katsuki falls unconscious and he gets wrapped in capture tape, he just says, "Don't say anything to anyone just in case you plan on it." As he takes Katsuki's earpiece, puts it in his before telling, "Guys, I'm gonna go dark for a bit." Katsuki Bakugo is eliminated. As he takes his off, puts it in his pocket, puts Katsuki's on, and he's just listening. Tokage says, "I heard the explosion from down there. I'm gonna head there to assist Katsuki. The eyeball that I had following him, something knocked it out of the way. And to be honest, I don't care, but something's fucking happening down there." Todoroki just says, "I will be defending the bomb." Tokage would go down. Not via the stairs. They would split up, go down to the second floor, and just see a pile of rocks. Like a pile of broken up concrete and dust settling. Takage looks around, and then her eyes locks on something in the middle of all the rocks. And then, big old piece of fucking concrete just gets fucking sent flying and hits Tokage in the fucking chest, which immediately knocks the wind out of him. And Izuku runs over. Tokage splits apart and sends their head backwards and up, which was the worst idea they could have made, because Izuku wanted the head. After all, he was listening to the quirks of everyone involved. And Tokage's, in his opinion, would be the most fucking annoying. So, what did he do? Oh, that's simple. He ran up after he threw the rock, jumped, grabbed the head by the long ass hair, and how I want you to imagine a bola. He starts spinning it at high speeds, and he's just walking towards the wall. Tokage tries to call arms and torso back, whilst Izuku is using Tokage's fucking head to beat their own limbs and body parts away. And Tokage wants to fucking vomit. Because it's starting to get there. And then just Izuku stops spinning them. Like very abrupt, like no slow stop. I'm talking like full force. He like let go and then just grabbed both sides of the head by the temples, using his pinkies to feel in the ears. He nods to himself, takes out her comm, puts it on the floor, smashes it. And then just headbutts the shit out of them multiple times. Now, at this point, Tokage's brains is already pretty fucking rattled. So, when Tokage actually is starting to attack Izuku, here's the issue. He's at stage 3. Tokage does not have any strength enhancers. And to my knowledge, at best they could do is get up momentum. So at minimum, they are going to like knock him around. At maximum, they're going to leave a bruise that would be healed in like less than a couple seconds. But I want you to imagine trying to keep concentration and figure out where the hell you are when you're getting headbutted by someone's skull that feels like it's made out of fucking metal. Dear God. And Izuku's like not paying attention where he's headbutting either. So like there's times where he hits Tokage in the mouth and then the nose and then like hits his thumb. But still fucking like hits her forehead. Like he's like beating the shit out of Tokage. Meanwhile, there's just constant rains of blows on Izuku. Until Tokage has to come back together, or she's gonna feel like she's gonna fucking pass out. So, Tokage begins to reform the body. Setsuna, sorry, not Tokage. I'm just gonna call it fucking Tokage. I don't know why the fuck I'm saying that. Give me 1 minute. I need to make sure I'm not being a complete dumbass. If you can't tell, I'm tired when I'm making this. So, Tokage is getting their ass beat. Tokage. Fuck, I'm tired. Sorry. I'm still like drinking coffee. But, where was I? Ah, right, the complete shit kicking. Essentially, during that entire time, we're gonna go back to the room. Specifically the observatory. All Might is just looking at what he did to Katsugi. Like, okay, damn. That's impressive. Like, essentially, Izuku has his own fighting style that revolves around his quirk, which is what at least All Might is getting at and figuring out, which is scary effective. However, when Izuku began fighting Hokage, man, All Might got even more fucking confused when he was just eating hits. And like he didn't even fucking care about them. Like they didn't exist to him. So, when the headbutting starts, and Tokage begins to reform. Dear sweet God, I need to stop with that. Anyway, during that time, I want you to imagine a toddler punching someone. That's essentially what is happening. And Tokage's hand is starting to fucking hurt. Because, dear sweet jumping Jesus, it's actually like punching bricks. All the way until the final headbutt, which just puts them unconscious. Just puts them out. They're gone. They're fucking asleep. And Izuku, this entire time, he hasn't stopped, like, grinning. Meanwhile, 2 days later, Tokage wakes up from a fucking horrible nightmare of that incident. Anyway, we continue onward. He ties Tokage up and goes up. He has essentially heard the fact that most of his team is getting fucked. Like, there is no better word to put it. And they are a floor above him. So, Izuku just stops and waits and listens. Just looking up at the ceiling. Like, and he's in the center. And All Might and everyone is confused. Until he squats, jumps. And I want you to imagine the what the fuck face on Monoma when a hand and head burst through the floor, grabs him by his fucking leg, and drags his left leg into the hole. Now, Monoma is wearing a suit, so it immediately rips, because it's not that flexible, for one. The other reason, Monoma doesn't seemed more the aesthetic type. So he didn't think of the world's best thing, God's gift to man, a cup. So when his left leg goes in, guess what happens? That's right, every guy here knows exactly what's happening right now. Izuku is hanging on a dislocated leg of Monoma, who is crying in fucking pain because not only did he essentially get nut-shotted through the floor, he got his leg dislocated. He was planning on essentially ambushing God, who the fuck? Kirishima. And when, like right before he was about to, this happened, which alerted Kirishima to his position and his current predicament. And then Kirishima notices, oh dear God, I am sorry. What the fuck? Oh, that does not look good. And then the ground cracks, and Monoma falls in to the fucking second floor Thunderdome. Izuku didn't like Monoma. Because to say that he hasn't heard him talking shit when they were at lunch would be an impossible margin. Nah. You know what really got his goat? When they started talking shit to him directly. That's what got him. That's what, like, really pissed him off. So, what Izuku did was pretty straightforward. Some would say innovative. Almost. Now, Monoma has Todoroki's quirk. And it's been active for a couple seconds. So what do you think happens? Yes. Since he does not have the restriction of Todoroki, he lights Izuku's ass on fire. But Izuku didn't move. Which was the first thing that was off-putting. And when the fire stopped, Izuku just stared at him. His hair on fire, with a shit-eating grin that only promises suffering. And I accidentally flipped the screen, that's my apologies. So, yeah, sure, there are burns on Izuku, because he hasn't reached a higher train, but he has now. He was at train 2. He has jumped up to the 6th train. And the 6th train's power is you could be shot by things like tank shells and come out of it fairly okay. You could be put on some shit very easily. But his strength, which is where the main issue will come from now. Dear God, you could rip a car engine out with 3. One-handed on accident. With 6, you could rip fucking boats in half. And you have 2% smashes. Specifically, Izuku's version of 2%. So he gets really fucking strong. So what do you think happens, guys? After the fire stops, and Monoma is staring as what he could only call a fucking demon in the eyes. Would you say an absolute shit stomping? Because you're fucking right. I want you to imagine Avengers. Monoma is still grabbed by the dislocated leg. And what Izuku does is essentially using his strength to yank him over his head, slamming him chest first on the ground. Back over, back first on the ground. Over again, face first on the ground. And he's just repeating it. Two seconds later, he did this 6 times. Monoma is unconscious with really bad, fucked up concussion. I'm talking bad concussion. Homie got that shit. He got fucked up. And Izuku, like, kicks him in the ribs a little bit. He like, Monoma groans. And All Might would hear something. And he just says, oh, good, he's alive, thank God. As Izuku would jump through the hole that he made. Meanwhile, Kirishima was just gawking at that shit. Like, not at exactly what Izuku did. He was gawking at the hole because he didn't want to look at what the fuck happened. You want to know why? Because Monoma was screaming. Monoma was fucking wailing. And like the devil has come for his soul. And dear God, Kirishima, when he sees Izuku, just calms up. Like, Izuku isn't sweating yet. Izuku isn't really perspirating yet. That is primarily because, you know, he has a pair of ice pants at the moment. So, yeah. And when Izuku does come up, he just says, wait, why are you standing here? Let's get to, where's the bomb? Todoroki blocked it off with ice. Monoma, Tokage, and Katsuki have been eliminated. Leave Todoroki to me. Just in case, you're with Shishida. Where is he? I was told to move forward. Shishida's dealing with Suyu. Suyu. Help him. Go on. Kirishima would just give a nod, almost like awestruck, as Izuku's just like light-hearted jog towards the door. Well, not the door. Essentially the fucking ice cage that Todoroki made. And Izuku touches it. Which was the wrong idea. His arm freezes. And Izuku can't pull his arm back, so it's only getting worse. Izuku's chest freezes over, all the way to underneath his neck. as well as it reinforcing the ice that was already on his legs. So Izuku stops, and then he grins. Izuku is also stuck to the floor again. Now, Todoroki doesn't know exactly what's happening. However, he does hear the sound of breaking ice in the trap that he has made. So he's having a bit of a time right now. But Izuku does the exact same thing that he did with the ice at the start. However, the difference is it just falls off now. Because his skin was significantly more durable now than it was back then. So one punch later, breaking the ice that was still on his balled up fist. He sees the bomb and Todoroki. And Izuku just walks in and he just says, "Hey, buddy, how you do?" He gets fucking flash frozen, only leaving his mouth exposed. And Todoroki pulls out capture tape, and he's about to go over to place it on him, until he fucking feels it again. And he looks. One of his fucking eyes are open. And it's following him as he was walking forward. And the fucking smile. The look that he gets when he stares into the ice is that of malice, of hate. But one thing stands out above everything else. Pure fucking adrenaline. When Izuku breaks free of the ice, it does break his skin, cause it to tear and bleed, which causes him to think he's keeping up. He's keeping up. With speed never seen before. Izuku takes 2 steps that cause the ground to quiver and shake. Cracks to be spilled not just through the ice that is on the floor, but the building's floor at which he stands. The thwack is loud and heavy. But what Todoroki and not even the judges would expect to not be sent sideways or up. No. Izuku did an overhead fucking hammer fist, hitting him in his left shoulder, causing it to dislocate and break in 2 spots, causing him to go down to the first fucking floor. And Izuku stops and looks. He was smiling before. And then his smile breaks into a frown. And he says, only loud enough for Jiro to be picked up over the speakers. As well as All Might and Vlad King, who are wearing headphones. Not strong enough yet. As Izuku puts his hand on the bomb, causing the exercise to end. When Izuku enters the room, all of the adrenaline left his body. Now he is the calm loner. That once he enters, he sits. And they go over MVP. The entire time, Jiro is just fucking staring at Izuku. For one reason. He is fighting very familiar. At least to Jiro. That could wait. Izuku would get the MVP, but after a slight argument. Momo would say, hey, that Izuku, who cared more about the fights than anything else. Izuku would then, with the same cold expression, people would actually get to, hear him talk more. And he would say, Yayorozu-san, I have a question. If I wanted to primarily focus on the fight, why would I touch the bomb? If I touched the bomb, secured victory for the hero team, the fighting would stop. Which, to your logic, is a no-no for me. Yayorozu-san, this may be the first time you heard this, but please, if you're going to talk about how something with an ounce of logic behind it, you must understand and properly observe the things that happened. Absorb the data and realize what you did and didn't see and did not account for. Because you see, if I was about to fight, I would have let Katsuki, the blonde, the loud one that doesn't shut up. And no, I'm not talking about Monoma. I would have let him pop off. However, what is his quirk? It causes detonations, which does what? Have a possibility of damaging the structure. Which what happens if the structure falls? It crushes me. And not only me, it crushes the bomb. So I have a question, Miss Yayorozu. If I was about to fight, as he would look properly at Yayorozu, why exactly did I end every fight so quickly? Did my overwhelming force come down to it? Yes. It did. It very much did. But, even that, I do understand partially what you were saying. I was getting into it with Todoroki. At least I thought I was. And then a disappointed look would cross his face. And he would look down. I thought I could actually fight him for a moment. Thought I'd actually be able to cut loose a little bit. Nah. Couldn't do it. Would have been such a pain in the ass. To hold myself back to that standard. I'm sorry. But that, and I don't think he was taking the class seriously. After all, I think he only used half of his quirk. Given the fact how bad he was shaking. Unless he used fire. Fire before, I got to him. Which is possibly why he was shaking, or some sort of exhaust, whatever. Point is, I don't think he was taking me seriously. So I'm gonna treat him how I'm gonna treat some fucking roach that ended up crawling across my monitor. I'm going to stomp on it and pay it no mind. And think, I really need to clean my house later. Not necessarily thinking of the thing that I just squished. Ida would say, that is not a heroic attitude. It's like, well, I know it's not heroic. But it's realistic. If you are disrespectful, I'm not going to give you any form of niceness either. If you want to be a dick, you could be a dick. I'll just be one too, and I'll be significantly worse. All Might would give a cough and get the class back on track. But until then, I hope all of you have enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy yourselves. And if you can't tell, yes, I did make 3 videos in advance. Why? Because I'm lazy.